Welcome to news broadcasts on TayNinhTV with some latest event in the province as well as in nationwide. And now we get into detail. In the morning program of the 20 sections of the 10 Provincial People's Council, which took place on the morning of April 28, delegates discussed in groups and contributed many important ideas related to the draft resolution.
At the discussion group number 1 led by head of the Provincial Party Committee's Propaganda and Mass Mobilization Committee Nguyễn Thị Xuân Hương, delegates suggested studying and re-editing the point H Clause 1 Article 1 of Resolution number 218 10 February 20th, 2025 of Provincial People's Council on the reorganization of Specialized Association, the Provincial People's Committee, including the reorganization of the Department of Health on the basis of preserving the function and tasks of the State Management of Social Protection, Children Prevention and Control of Social Evils, excluding the drug addiction treatment and post-drug addiction treatment management, and receiving the function of the social protection from the Center for Social Protection and Nursing for Meritorious People under the Department of Labor and Wellness and Social Affairs. And at discussion group number 2 led by head of Provincial Party Committee's Organization Committee Nguyễn Thị Yến Mai, delegates contributed their opinions on the resolution approving the policy of arranging the commune level administrative units of the province in 2025, including proposing to adjust the name of the draft resolution, removing the word approval. On the draft resolution's page, it is recommended to consider and weight the content marked with an asterisk when including it in the draft resolution. The opinions contributed by the delegates at the discussion section were saved, recorded, and adjusted appropriately by the Standing Committee of Provincial People's Council.
On the morning of April 28, under the chairmanship of the Provincial Party Secretary, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng, and Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Council Nguyễn Hồng Sơn, the 20th session of the Provincial People's Council, the 10th term 2021-2026, passed 6 resolutions. The resolutions passed at the session include resolution approving the policy of arranging provincial level administrative units, resolution approving the policy of arranging commune level administrative units of the province in 2025, resolution amending point H Clause 1, Article 1 of Resolution number 218, dated February 20th, 2025 of the Provincial People's Council on reorganizing specialized agencies under the Provincial People's Committee, resolution adjusting and supplementing the medium-term public investment plan for the period of 2021-2025 from local budget sources, resolution on adjusting and supplementing the 2025 public investment plan from local budget sources, resolution on naming and renaming streets and public works in the city. Speaking at the meeting, Mr. Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng appreciated the preparation for the meeting as well as the spirit and responsibility of the delegates, which contributed to the meeting completing the proposed content and program. The 6 resolutions passed with the consensus of 100% of the delegates have met the practical requirements of the province in the new situation.
After a working session that were urgent, serious, scientific, democratic, and highly responsible, under the chairmanship of the Provincial Party Secretary, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng, and Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Council Nguyễn Hồng Sơn, the 20 sessions of the 10 Provincial People's Council completed on contents of the proposed program and closed the sessions on the morning of April 28.
One of the important contents that the Provincial People's Council considered, discussed, and decided at this section was the resolution approving the policy of arranging provincial level administrative units and the resolution approving the policy of arranging commune level administrative units of the province in 2025. The delegates of the Provincial People's Council demonstrated a high sense of responsibility, focused on research, and demonstrated a high consensus with this major policy. The resolution have closely followed the policy and resolution of the Central Committee in line with the practical condition of the province and the will and aspiration of the people, rating a very high consensus among voters. In order for the resolution of the Provincial People's Council to soon come into life, the Secretary Provincial Party Committee and Chairman Provincial People's Council of the Taynan Province Nguyễn Hồng requested the Provincial People's Committee to urgently develop a specific plan to implement synchronously and effectively ensuring the legitimate and the legal rights and interests of the people while strengthening information and propaganda work, creating a high consensus among the core party members and the people on these policies. The Provincial Party Secretary and Chairman Provincial People's Council also requested on level sectors, localities, core party members and all people of the province to promote the spirit of solidarity, responsibility, proactiveness, creativity and organize the implementation of the approved contents, contributing to building Taynan Province to be increasingly rich, beautiful and civilized.
The audience on the afternoon of April 28th, the People Committee of Taynan Province have a convened to announce and present the retirement decision to Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, Dương Văn Thắng.
Attending the event, there were acting chairman of the Provincial People's Committee Nguyễn Hồng Thành, vice chairman of the Provincial People's Committee Đoàn Trung Kiên and Trần Văn Chiến. According to decision number 162 dated January 22nd, 2025 of the Provincial People's Committee from May 1st, 2025, Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee Dương Văn Thắng will retire and enjoy pension benefits. Mr. Dương Văn Thắng, born in 1964 with nearly 43 years of work experience and 30 years of party membership, regardless of his position, he always approached the spirit of responsibility, enthusiasm, dedication, exemplary, solidarity, maintains political courage, and excellently completes a site test. Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Thành acknowledged and praised his important contributions to the socio-economic development of the province during his working time. At the same time, he hopes that after his retirement, he will continue to monitor, contribute valuable opinions and experience, continue to accompany the development of the province, as well as make positive contributions to the locality where he resides. On this occasion, acting chairman of the Provincial People's Committee Nguyễn Hồng Thành awarded a certificate of merit from the Provincial People's Committee to Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee Dương Văn Thắng for his many contributions in the process of leading and directing socio-economic development and ensuring national defense and security of Taynan Province.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the Liberation Day, the consequences of war left behind for Taynan Province were very heavy. However, the party committee, army and people of Taynan promoted the spirits of solidarity, while overcoming the consequences of war, inevitably stabilizing people's life, fighting to protect the southwestern border of the fatherland, and at the same time helping Cambodia overthrow the genocidal regime of Pol Pot in Syria, contributing to the revival of the neighboring countries of pagodas.
After the Liberation Day, 60 over 73 communes of Taynan were completely devastated by the war. The economy was mainly agriculture, but most of the land was barren, full of burnt quarters, while there was a lack of irrigation canals. Low-level, intensive farming, low productivity, fragmented industry, trade and services, extremely poor infrastructure, no large factories or enterprises except for a number of small-scale industrial establishments processing agriculture and forestry products. The province's social-cultural infrastructure is poor. The whole province has only more than 2,600 primary and kindergarten classrooms, most of which were renovated from old facilities damaged by the war. The people live in both urban and rural areas are still difficult. Unemployment and poverty have become serious problems in the locality. The transportation system has been severely damaged by the war also. It is always the same in any country after the war. We have to reclaim land, remove bombs and mines. And the South were liberated on April 30th in Tayninh. There was no concept of a town, but its town was called TayNinhTV commune. We do not have a city, no town, only a section of the Yalong Street, now the August Revolution Street. It is only a bit bustling. It's a rural areas of ours. It has one street and that's all. Implementing the 24 resolution of the Party Central Committee, the third term, the Army and the people of TayNinhTV province under the leadership of the Provincial Party Committee have made efforts to reform and build socialism, quickly restoring and stabilizing all aspects of the people's daily lives. Although there are still many immediate difficulties, some aspects have changed positively. What TayNinhTV is trying to heal the wounds of war, moving with the whole country to a new revolutionary stage. Complicated developments have arisen on the Vietnam-Cambodia border. The Pol Pot insurgency group has many activities that violate the Vietnam sovereignty and territory. When the war broke out on a small scale, meaning they brought troops close to the border and provoked and killed our people, our party still advocated a peaceful and friendly solution through meetings and negotiations with the other side. But as the proverb said, the tree wanted to be still, but the wind did not stop, so we were forced to change the way we responded. TayNinhTV again entered a fight against Pol Pot insurgency, protecting the sovereignty of the southwestern border of the Thailand. The ethnic minorities of TayNinhTV once again promoted the spirit of solidarity, belief in the leadership of the party, concentrated a large force and tens of thousands of people to the border, built defense lines, great brave strength of the People's War, completed the task of expelling the Pol Pot army on December 31st of 1978, and firmly protecting the Thailand's border. At the same time, side by side with the Cambodian Revolutionary Armed Forces to overthrow the Pol Pot insurgency regime and reviving the country's pagodas. And after helping the neighboring country escape genocide, the party committee, the government, the army, and the people of TayNinhTV continue to devote their human and material resources to support the Kampong Cham province, Cambodia, with all their heart and soul for 10 years from 1979 to 1989. We are very grateful to the people and the Vietnamese army, the volunteer army in the past, who sacrificed to help Cambodia to expel the Pol Pot so that our young generation today can have peace, stability to study better. And after the southwestern border war ended, the party committee, army, and the people of TayNinhTV really focused on overcoming the consequences of war, developing production, quickly joining the whole country to develop. And after 50 years of construction, development, and growth, TayNinhTV has achieved many important achievements and won many victories in the renovation process. And on the morning of April 28, the Secretary of the Central Committee of Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union, President of the Central Committee of the Vietnam Student Association, Nguyễn Minh Triết, and the Secretary of TayNinhTV Provincial Youth Union, Nguyễn Thanh Tùng, visited and presented the gifts to heroic Vietnamese martyrs in TayNinhTV City on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and the national reunification, April 30th of 1975, April 30th of 2025. The delegation visited the heroic Vietnamese martyr Lê Thị Hai and heroic Vietnamese martyr Võ Thị Thạnh. Both mothers had husbands and children who sacrificed their lives in the resistance wars against the U.S. to save the country. A display visited the Secretary of the Central Committee of Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union, Nguyễn Minh Triết, and the members of the delegation kindly asked about the health and presented the gifts to the heroic Vietnamese martyrs, wishing them good health and a happy life with their children and grandchildren. The Secretary of the Central Youth Union, Nguyễn Minh Triết, also emphasized the current generation of young people onwards remembers and is rightful for the right sacrifice of previous generations, vowing to study and practice hard, worthy of the glorious tradition of the heroic Vietnamese nation. And on the morning of April the 28th, the command of the Samar International Border Guard Station under the TayNinhTV Provincial Border Guard said that the unit received 23 Vietnamese citizens, including 19 men and 4 women, who were returned to Vietnam by representatives of the Vietnamese Consulate General in Battambang, Cambodia. At the Trop Bang Phlong International Border Gate Police Station under the General Department of Immigration, Ministry of Interior of Cambodia, at the milestone of 118, Samar International Border Gate. According to the initial information from the authorities, the group of 23 Vietnamese citizens with a permanent resident registration from many provinces and cities across the country in Vietnam are mostly young people who went to Cambodia to work and were deported by the General Department of Immigration and the Ministry of Interior of Cambodia for violating regulations on working and residing illegally without a passport in Cambodia. Currently, the Samar International Border Guard Station is screening planning, investigating, and verifying the above group of citizens.
When the world country implements the policy of not organizing the district level of the 696 current district level administrative unit, 87 provincial cities and city under centrally run city will no longer exist.
On April 28th, at the press conference provide information about the work of the first quarter of 2025, Mr. Phan Trung Tuấn, Director of Department of Local Government and the Ministry of Home Affairs, answered the press about the reasons for abolishing provincial level towns and cities and the use of standards for titles at commune levels and world level courts after implementing the policy of branching administrative units and organizing the two-level local governments. Many experts, scientists, and many people strongly support this policy. However, many opinions suggest that the cities should be returned by considering the cities as a time for grassroots local government. Why not keep the names of cities and towns? Because we have agreed on a policy of completely abolishing the district level. So we only need to reorganize the grassroots level and the commune level. Secondly, there is a psychological factor that affects many people, which is why did the central government abolish the district level but still keep the cities and towns? And to avoid such a mentality, the central government carefully considered these issues, including the three missing of the police bureau and agreed to reorganize the two-level government, completely abolish the district level and not be bothered by the district level unit anymore. The organization motto is relatively compact and meant to serve the people the best, close to the people and close to the people and near the people. And after abolishing the district level and forming a new commune level administrative unit after the merger, the work of arranging key officials was given great attention. Based on the careful consideration, the central government has considered the issues of personnel and staffing, basically keeping the current number of staffing for now, and for the district level, it is basically transferred to the commune level. The management team, civil servants, and public employees will be transferred to the commune level to arrange for the newly formed commune level administrative units. As for the personal plan, in conclusion, number 150 of the Central Steering Committee, the spirit is that the locality decides, the locality does, the locality is responsible. And on April 28th, the Traffic Police Department of TayNinhTV Province Police held a propaganda sections on the law on road traffic order and safety and decree number 168 of the government for students of Nguyễn Văn Linh Secondary School of Hà Town. Major Cao Thanh Vũ, propaganda officers of the Traffic Police Department of TayNinhTV Province Police, said that for each group of students, there will be appropriate content and forms of propaganda so that the student can easily understand and absorb. And therefore, in the propaganda sections, officers of the Traffic Police Department will raise the traffic situation close to their everyday life so that the students can reorganize and be aware of participating in traffic according to the law. The initiative in propaganda work with many firms and rich and diverse content not only brings specific lessons on traffic safety to the students, but the students themselves will be active propagandists, helping the family members raise awareness when participating in traffic and join hands for the community to build traffic culture, contributing to reducing the traffic accident also. And ladies and gentlemen, TayNinhTV Province sets a target of completing the elimination of temporary houses for the poor and poor households in the province by April 30th of 2025. In fact, TayNinhTV Province has achieved the target. Localities have completed the construction and handed over houses to the people by April 29th at the latest. Regarding the subjects, TayNinhTV Province focused on building solidarity houses for the poor and poor households according to the central standards and the poor households according to the province poverty standards. The target is to complete from December 2024 to April 30th of 2025. And according to a review of the Steering Committee for Elimination of Temporary and Dilapidated Houses of the province, there are 525 households in need of housing support with a total cost of 41,600 billion Vietnam dong. As the result, TayNinhTV has completed the said goal right on the occasion of celebrating the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and the National Reunification Day. It can be affirmed that as of today, April 28, 2005, TayNinh has completed the entire program of eliminating temporary and dilapidated houses. On the people on April of 29 will be the last day to reset the houses in all localities. And to complete this goal, the Provincial Steering Committee has directed localities to arrange and allocate public land to build concentrated residential areas, supporting the livelihood of households. At the same time, in addition to the state budget of over 11 billion Vietnam dong to implement the projects, businesses, philanthropists, and the people have joined hands to contribute nearly 30.6 billion Vietnam dong to complete the goal of eliminating temporary houses.
The audience, the total foreign direct investment capital in Ho Chi Minh City to date is about 58.45 billion US dollars, leading the country.
This is a locality with a strong attraction to global investors right from the early 90s after the foreign investment law took effect. During 35 years of attracting FDI capital, Ho Chi Minh City has had a fundamental change in the quality of its attraction strategy. The new context is posing challenges along with the opportunities for Ho Chi Minh City to continue to affirm its attractiveness in attracting new generation of FDI capital flows. Established in 1996 in Thanh Thuan Export Processing Zone, we decided to become the largest component manufacturing company in Vietnam. Up to now, this enterprise has continuously developed in both quality and quantity, becoming an important pillar of the automobile business of the Chinese Furukawa Electric Group. The promised land of Ho Chi Minh City has businesses realize their development goals, focusing on quality, efficiency, and sustainability. Vietnam in general and Ho Chi Minh City in particular have been attractive to us since 30 years ago, thanks to the đổi mới and the private economic development policies in the 1990s, opening up the environment for foreign investors. After nearly 30 years in Ho Chi Minh City, we have gradually diversified our products and expanded our production scale also. Excellent human resources and a favorable investment environment are the factors that have helped us develop to this day. As a dynamic modern economic center with a high integration potential, Ho Chi Minh City is the first locality in the country to meet the condition to attract foreign direct investment capital since the đổi mới of 1996 and when the foreign direct investment law of 1987 took effect. We have been in Vietnam for 33 years and hope to continue operating in Ho Chi Minh City and Vietnam for a long time. The peak of FDI attraction in Ho Chi Minh City was in 2008, right after Vietnam joined the WTO, when Ho Chi Minh City alone contributed for 11.72%, equivalent to 8.41 billion US dollar, and until now is still in the top localities with the highest FDI capital in the country. According to experts, together with the superior institutions of Resolution number 98 and the new space of Ho Chi Minh City, it will create an ecosystem combining industry and technology as a large development space that promises to create an explosion in attracting FDI in expected fields such as semiconductor technology, information technology, biotechnology, innovation, etc. for the international megacity of Ho Chi Minh City.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for your being with us and goodbye for now.